Hello everyone and welcome to the map King's Cove here. Joining me here in the upper left corner for the first of today's highlight viewer submitted matches of StarCraft 2 comes a very fast spawning pool here, rushing with some Zerglings. Type in the chat, it is Tickler. Feel like we need a the Tickler supervillain there. Nobody wants to be tickled against their own will. Here, in the bottom right, their unwitting opponent and quite possibly victim, it is Rip. We'll go with the Protoss. Rip. I think aptly named, given the spawning pool that's on the map right now. This was a 12. This was about as fast as you can do it. Where are you going? Drones? You're attacking with drones? Like 4, specifically. 4 drones. These 4. Licensed, credited, finished their certificate of completion in drone combat school. Okay then. Well, this is going to be a full wall, so they're not going to get in this way, but they can still go this route. Yeah, Cyber Core. Oh god, this is going to be awkward. The Lings are out as well. The probe did spot this. Nice. The drones do make their way, go after the pylon. They will not stop the Zealot from getting out here. Zealot starts to focus down the drones. Their focus is entirely on that pylon, and there's no probe down here to try to block future Zerg units. Nope. Zergling surround the Zealot. They will be successful. They get the Zealot. Can they shut down the pylon? I don't think so. Oh. They do. They shut down the next Zealot. Oh my god, that was so close. What was the chat? Oh, it's a random thing. Okay, so the Protoss here was playing random, which of course causes other players to do evil and bad decisions. The probes were pulled for a brief little bit here till that Zealot could get up and running. Pylon here, happy to block, happy to stop more units from getting in. It will be destroyed, but a second one's already up here and on the way. Zealot surrounded a little bit. Should be fine though. Not enough Zerglings to actually pick him off. Adept is almost here. We really might want to consider making something else to block, but with the Adept out, I think things do get a lot safer. Oh, this poor Zealot on the wrong side of the wall will be picked off. The Adept should be able to hold the ground. Zerglings, I highly doubt would actually break through before the Adept picks most of them off. At this point, I'm going to call this rush over. Completed. Resources lost are in favor of the Zerg. They traded 4 drones, 11 Lings for 4 probes, 3 pylons, 2 Zealots. It's not terrible, certainly. Probably not, I'm sure, what they were hoping for, but also at this point, everything went fine. I want to question the drones more than anything else, but it did work out pretty well. Because the drones were able to help pick off the pylon. The timing alone for stopping that second Zealot, I feel, is enough to make me go, yeah, that was fine. Like, pulling the drones to make sure that that happened. Because if the second Zealot had gotten out, it would have been shut down instantly. Second Zealot would have cleaned up the Zerglings right at the base. They could have walled it off. Been totally okay. On the other side, the Tickler here, our super villain of the map, I'm sure, is deciding to expand eventually, reluctantly, I'm sure. They're building their base, deciding, well, my opponent didn't outright quit out of fear and didn't die to my 8 Zerglings, so I guess I might as well make another base. They are down in terms of workers, but not by, I would say, the immeasurable numbers here. The forge. There is a forge on the way. These are 2 batteries, though. And you do see this, right? Like, tickler. The tickler cam. Oh, we're on tickler cam right now. I'm not convinced they actually see it yet. Zerglings, their speed is completed. Yeah, where do you think those came from? Weird. Why are there zealots over here? You really don't see this. The Loco announcer pack. Quality. Excellent choice. Welcome to Protoss things. Okay. Alright. I'm still not sure they've actually looked at the natural. Or perhaps they have looked and just deemed it dead. This is no longer worth it. Not gonna be saved. I agree with the choice, actually. Other position for the hatch will be quite a bit more successful. Yeah, this is really not. Oh, God. Just 2 cannons. The batteries, even decorative at this point. The real big brain move is just not eliciting any response. The Zerg's like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Bane Nest, huh? That's the response? It's a strange-looking roach warren, my friend. Couple of depths will be warped in on the other side. Chill back. While ill brack a sweet. Was that English? A lot of chat between these two. A lot of chat and shenanigans around, I will say. Bane Nest is completed. We have a disruptor drop coming on board, because why not? You made a second Nexus. Why would you use the second Nexus? Of course. Makes no sense. I agree. Full wall, still holding, completed. Absolutely okay, and a forward warp-in position on the other side of the map. Everything is just kind of out the window at this point. There's no standard, there's no map for the path forward, the road here. We've got workers barely above 20. The depths shading in. I think you complete the shade. I think you just go for it. Like, at this point, any amount of damage is devastating. When you're losing drones, you've only got 20. Okay. Oh, they're going after the queen. We're not focusing fire. A few Zerglings do come back home. Haven't seen any control from this. The warp prism has also made it across the other side. We'll drop that disruptor. Does it go for drones? Does it go for queens? Goes for some drones. That will also be quite the hit. As our player losing drones left and right now. 13 at this point have fallen. We also have another forward warp-in spot here, because this one wasn't good enough. We need more than one. The depth shading in, I don't see really any way this is gonna get cleaned up. Jeez, with a lull goes out. Jolly good game here, gents, I suppose. We both decided to see just how much we could club each other in the first 9 minutes of the game, huh? Hate random. Was that directed at me? Is that why this was chosen? Excuse me. Why do you hate random? Okay, also, there's 2 types of random players that I feel like we all know secretly deep down, but don't want to really acknowledge. There's players who play random. Okay. Just like all 3 factions, we just play random. We're doing our thing. And then there's random players. Okay. You know who I'm talking about. You know the kind of player that plays. It's a random player. Okay. My case is made. The defense stands obviously a success here. Well done, I will say. A well-earned victory to the Protoss, in this case, RIP here. Deciding to just kind of close the door, leave it shut, barred, made it whatever you cast the lock spell on the door so they can't get back in. Totally fine. Handled it well. The disruptor drop, I think, was also a good choice. Might as well get a prism out and have some fun with it. That is not all for today, though, folks. one more on the menu. For the second match of the day, we find ourselves on the map Roscallion here, a 2v2 map to finish out the day. Here, team number 1, the upper left corner, Red Terran SCVs, it is Zaraza. Their blue Terran allied SCVs of Robbie. Perfect. Now, team number 2, their opponents here, the bottom right, so far, another Terran in teal. It is Paprika. And finally, wrapping it all up, the only non-Terran on the map, purple Protoss probes of Masio. EL. Severe lack of Zergs, but after that last match, I'm going to say it might be for the best, because Zerg's clearly not in the best of their mindsets today, shall we say. We've got a 2v2 game, and nobody's cheesing. What? Huh? Peculiar. The Protoss? Most of all, of course, the Protoss here. No Forge. No cannons, no gateway where it doesn't belong. I'm intrigued, slightly impressed. These Terrans are going to have to move those barracks, though. There's no way you guys can build add-ons here. Like, absolutely not. Ooh, one of them's doing it right now, too. A tech lab. Wait, what? Why a tech lab? A curious decision here. That's Robbie. That's the blue. Okay. Well, they do have another barrack, so they're actually going for 2 racks, which is mildly better, I suppose. Oh, we've got a ping, too. Wait, blue is controlling this. Did they give army control? Shared control here. Red is going to let blue take over their army units. Intriguing decision. APMs all around looking pretty similar, I will say. Blue is slightly ahead. Maybe that's why Red's letting them take control. These quite possibly could be 2 individuals that actually know each other. Oh god. Really? Well, I will say at least one thing. You clearly weren't looking at the Reaper. Teal here was not controlling the Reaper. Oh. Blue, though, they don't mind. Blue would much rather control the Reaper than actually finish the construction or start barracks production. I will say I actually like Teal better for that. They decided to focus on their macro, focus on their work, and said, let the Reaper die. Excellent. I support it 100%. The good old, I have too much money right now, gateways. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Gateways coming down, so we're going with 4-gate robo 2-base, which might be a little bit much all at once, but I'm sure it'll work out fine. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm guessing all of these players are going to wind up with at least a little bit of surplus money in the bank. High-sec auto-tracking, spotted. First research from the engineering bay. Missile turret already in the mineral line, so that's how you know it's going to go to good use, because you can't say I'm not going to have anything that uses it, Indigos. I got an orbital. Okay, I got a missile turret. What more do you want from me? I'm sure the natural down here, when it's taken in 6 to 12 business days, is going to be a planetary fortress, which will undoubtedly benefit as well. Got another Reaper. Oh, this is the same one. They didn't lose it. They're pushing their envelope with it, though. Good grief. Yeah, blue is the one controlling the army. Red, it seems to be focusing on their production of also extraneous missile turrets, of course. Behind those, though, I mean, like, what are they going for? They're getting stim. Nope, that's combat shields. I'm sorry. Did they already get stim? Yeah, they already got stim. for their 4 Marines, which are all entirely in the bunker at this point. Fantastic. I think we can speed this up slightly. Everybody is making very creative macro-related decisions here. Terrans seem to be going for slightly different things here. Teal is getting a lot of siege tanks. Just 1 Marine? Like, you know, even for mech builds, you're supposed to get a decent chunk of Marines early on because that's the key to surviving long enough to get the mech units. But this is also a 2v2 at a level that I'm not, quite familiar with, so team games especially, absolutely unfamiliar with that. The Protoss putting the 4-gate robo to good use, getting some immortals out. Charge is completed for the plethora of 0 zealots. Could get blink for some of the stalkers. This lighting makes them look kind of reddish with that purple. Looks like wine color. I like it. I like that. Whatever lighting's going on here. We got a lot of pings going on. That one was aimed at the sensor tower. I'm guessing purple. I think that was a purple ping. Alarmed and startled by the presence of a sensor tower. Red's going to take their 3rd base, getting focused on the macro. We have planetary missile turret combo. High-sec auto-tracking already researched. Upgraded base defense at the optimal level. Indigos. Well done. Check out that 69 supply block I saw for a few seconds there. Everybody's pinging for different expansions. Oh, that was Teal taking Purple's expansion. No chat, just pings. They could be in voice. I'm not too sure. That was Purple saying, no, you don't get that base, Mr. Terran. You get to take all of the others. This one's mine. Red getting quite a hodgepodge of army pieces together here. I am so glad I sped this up. We're almost at the 10-minute mark. Holy freedom, Batman. 7 liberators. I'm sorry, Robbie went to the drawing board for army compositions and looked at everything that Terran can make, of course, out of all 3 production structures, and said, you know what? You know what? I think I will rush for a fusion core to get liberator range. What? Okay, they're doing it. Liberators setting up shop in the main base here, providing some excellent ground coverage for Red's forces. That's actually quite nifty for like a fantasy role-playing point of view here. The Liberators will make the entrance, get all of the doors open so that Red can land some forces in here. Red does have a few Vikings, but this is nowhere near enough. Like, I don't know. God to God, that's a lot of siege tanks from Teal that are all out of range, too. The Colossi slowly walking its way through the Liberator and Viking fields will meet its demise. Luckily, the rest of the Protoss forces are not Colossi, so they stand a decent chance, I will say. It's just a couple Thors. Should be able to clear the Liberators, which are going to actually unpack, start to head home here. Red's going to pick it all up. Blue is commanding, of course, all of Red's forces there. Desperately trying to save the one Liberator from that attack, and that definitely didn't go supremely well. I will say Purple lost a lot in that attack, though. They got there for the defense, trying to help out. A few Robo forces slowly sauntered their way into their own demise, but other than that, relatively minimal losses. Only 3 SCVs killed off for Teal, so I would say things totally fine. I assume everybody's now just going to regret their actions of moving outside their base and go back to a heavy macro turn. You tell me I'm wrong. Probably not with this situation that's set up here. Red had a lot of siege tanks, but no real inclination to bring them forward here. We had to go for the drop because Terran players, we know they're certain types of Terran players, some of them believe you're actually not allowed to just walk across the map. You have to drop. And that sounds like a great idea for a viewer challenge, but also incredibly frustrating and annoying to actually execute. You would need a lot of medevacs here. Siege tanks actually brought for this attack, going to set up very much so within the vision range here. Start to focus the command center. Orbital will lift, which is going to be equally ill-advised, I think, because of the amount of Vikings and Marines. These Liberators really should set up shop. Teal's Thors and tanks seem to be the first to respond. Oh, the well-timed scan. Thors moving forward. Thors regretting moving forward. The Liberators are set up pretty decently to help try to protect the siege tanks. Now we've got a bit of a standoff here. This poor Thor, he is really struggling. He's trying to get out. Happy Thursday, by the way. We've got enough Thors, 8 Thors on this fine Thursday, paying great homage and tribute to the ancient Norse ones, I see. Well done, fellow Terran. Purple is just gonna go across the map. I like the decision, actually. Red and blue's forces here working a little together. This is a ghost. Do we have a nuke? Shoot, we have a nuke. We have one less nuke. Are they gone? They're gone. The siege tanks got them. Purple moving around here, starting to engage. This is a lot of Colossi, but not a whole lot else, which is going to be a little difficult, I think, because Red has built 11 Vikings. Actually, help out. Holy medevacs, too. You have 11 medevacs? The health insurance plan here, they've got nearly 1 medevac per Marine. The Vikings will get rid of all of the Colossi. Luckily, the Protoss, aware that non-Colossi units exist, is actually going to warp in a ground force to deal with said Vikings. Upgrades, well, I'd say they're doing pretty good. However, Red seems to be the king of non-army control here. I'm guessing Red just feels really freed up, really liberated by letting their letting their ally throw their army away for them. They can just focus on production, on upgrades. Wow, how nice it is to be playing an auto-battler. Actually, that's another good idea for a challenge. Maybe have you give up control. Have to consider that one. Team number 2 moving into position here. Their turn to strike. Their time is nigh. The Prism's going to be picked off, cutting some reinforcements down for the Protoss. Thor's trying to help out, offer some emotional support here. Siege tanks will be broken. The line is laid bare. Oh, that siege tank got deleted too. There's a few Liberators going to set up shop. Stalkers, undeterred, unfazed, will pick off all 3 Liberators. Siege tanks now starting their crawl forward. Protoss, you getting your replacement Prism? You are. Fantastic work. 3 Colossi at a time. You have 4 Robos. Holy Colossus. What? You're going up to 9 Colossi? Whoa. Holy War of the Worlds, Batman. Thors and tanks working together, picking off that outlying base. Red decides to just call it. Here? Now? Red wasn't even participating in the battle. They're like, I lost my base. You dumb game. They're not supposed to attack me. Robbie, you said you were going to control my army. You said that you were Grandmaster Micromaster. Here, come on. It didn't work out, apparently. The blue still has 1 nuke. I don't think they have any ghosts, though. No, they don't have any more ghosts. So I guess the idea of nuking the army, trying to go for just a clean sweep there, is not going to work out too well. Oh, siege tank finding an SCV. Work out. Ah, yes. The Walker fleet here has arrived. Laser giraffes made it to the front line. Reinforcing warp in now. You got a lot of gates, too. Loving the macro here for our Protoss. We got 4 Robos and 16 gates. Charge Zealots seem to be the choice to try to break the tank line. It's not awful, I'll say. decent amount of liberators too. I have to commend Blue here for actually knowing what liberators are, desperately trying to make them work. You do kind of need other stuff. Not supremely helpful up against Thors, but they're trying, at least. Which is more than I can say for some people in the past. Siege tanks, I think they're just waiting. I think the idea here is Thors, maybe, and Charge... Okay, so no, the Charge Zealots are trying to break this tank line. I think they'll be successful with this round. Only, I think, one tank left under there. The Colossi, the first, the next wave in this tower defense. Thor is going to try to walk their way up that ramp. SCVs pulled to the front. Battle cruisers Yamatoing up. We'll actually pick off one of the Thors, but that's just way too many Thors. 12 Thors. I agree. Get out. Get out of Dodge. Here, team number 2 will be the victors. Teal and purple going for rather respectable, happy War of the Worlds Thors Day composition. It's a lot of Thors, a lot of Colossi. We like big mechs that have to walk around the map. Excellent theme. Thank you, of course, for the submissions all around. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.